All right, so today we are diving headfirst into the, well, let's call it the chaotic and surprisingly revealing world of Dota 2. We're here to break down one crucial question. What does your favorite hero, your main, actually say about you as a person?
Because, let's be real, we all have that one hero we just default to, right? Is it just a comfortable pick, or is it something more? Like a digital mirror reflecting our deepest, maybe weirdest personality quirks. We're going to look at a few key archetypes and, hey, see if you recognize yourself or maybe, your most flamed teammate.
First up, we've got the Go with the Flow crew. These are the players who really aren't trying to be the star of the show. They're usually reliable, maybe a little impressionable, and honestly, they just want to have a good, chill game without a whole lot of drama.
Let's kick things off with the Jakiro main. Look, if this is your go-to hero, you are basically the definition of passive. You go with the flow, you're probably a bit more susceptible to peer pressure than most, but hey, you've also had some really great experiences because of it. You just haven't learned your lesson yet.
And that brings us right to the Luna main. Okay, picture this. You're in the picking phase, that timer is ticking down, and you panic. Luna is your safety blanket. She's stable, she's simple, she is a 5 out of 10 choice for someone who's probably afraid of spicy food. You're a procrastinator who only really starts thinking at the last possible second, and you know what? It's relatable. And then you've got the Keeper of the Light main. You're also going with the flow, but it's a flow that you invented yourself that makes sense to absolutely no one else. You're dancing to a beat only you can hear. You don't really learn from mistakes in the traditional sense. Instead, you just think, I wonder what happens if I do that again. It's a beautiful, truly chaotic mindset. Okay, so let's do a complete 180 and pivot to the total opposite end of the spectrum, the players who crave the spotlight. We're talking main character energy. They don't just want the win, they need you to see their name in lights when it happens. And who better to start with than the Magnus main? Oh yeah, you are the quintessential show-off. You're the humble bragger of the group chat, the one who's subtly positioning your new expensive guitar in the background of a photo of your new wall art. But here's the thing. You can actually play that guitar. You have the skills to back up the bragging, and honestly, that makes it almost okay.
Then we've got the Lena main. If you play Lena, you probably bought a car you can't afford. You are so financially irresponsible because you live for right now. You're a short-term thinker who is here for a good time, not a long time. You are an absolute blast to have around, but let's be clear, nobody is co-signing that apartment application with you.
Now, some players are driven by a dream. When a brand new, flashy hero like Kez drops, you see an opportunity. You think, this is it. This is how I become the next Dota prodigy. You're probably a huge fan of mainstream anime, and your whole identity gets tied to that hero's journey. Your dreams of winning the international might end with you working at McDonald's, but you're still holding on to that hope. Okay, next up are the specialists. These are the players who will endure 40 minutes of farming, of pure misery, just for one single, perfect, game-defining moment. For them, it is all about that one sweet, satisfying climax.
And here we see a really key difference in motivation. So the Legion Commander main finds this pure, simple joy in catching bugs. You see a Weaver on the enemy team and you just slam lock LC to do your absolute favorite thing in a video game. The Lich main, though, gets their satisfaction from both sides of the coin. You love saving your carry with a perfect frost shield just as much as you love ruining the enemy carry's day with a surprise ultimate. You're a really good person to be friends with and a very, very bad person to be an enemy of.
Let's talk about the Lion main. You are an eternal optimist, a bloomer, as they say. You are the person buying that $2 scratch off at the gas station just for the possibility of winning. You genuinely believe your luck is about to turn, and you go into every single game expecting to walk away with 20 Finger of Death stacks. Now, it almost never happens, but you just know that one day, it's gonna be glorious. And finally, we have the thinkers, the cerebral specialists. Now, these are not your average players. They see Dota as this complex system that needs to be solved, a giant puzzle to be manipulated. So take the Kunkka main, for instance. You're the kind of person who spends their free time totally mesmerized by YouTube videos of intricate marble races and these crazy Rube Goldberg machines. You just love those complex cascading systems. And you know you're never going to build one yourself, but playing Kunkka and landing that perfect torrent, ghost ship, tidebringer combo, it gives you just a little taste of that same satisfaction. Then we have the IO main. Okay, if you main IO, you probably journal intensely. There's this deep intentionality to your life. You have this whole internal fantasy of being a great leader, someone people can look to when times get tough. You know it's just a fantasy, but it's your default daydream, and you bring that structured, thoughtful approach right into the game.
And this one, well, this one might hit a little too close to home for some of you. The Lycan main. You are the jack of all trades, master of absolutely none. Your skill level at everything you do is intermediate. You have a really hard time committing to anything fully. In Dota, you're a zoo hero, but not quite. You're a pick-off hero, but not quite. You kind of exist in this state of being almost, but hey, maybe you're happy there.
So, after all these different archetypes, what's the big takeaway here? We've laughed at some of the stereotypes, we've probably seen a little bit of ourselves in there somewhere, but it really all comes down to a much bigger question about our digital lives. And it really all just boils down to this one question. Is that hero you pick every single game a mask that you wear to be someone you're not? Or is it the most honest, unfiltered expression of the person you have always been? Something to think about.